one of my favorite routes in Zwift, Rooftop Rondezvous. It's a short lap, 1.9 kilometers up, 1.7 down, total 3.6 kilometers. So it's a fun route to ride. It generates a lot of activity and it's very competitive during the race. As you can see, leading is nothing special. It's mostly flat and just maybe one place where you can surprise attack from the group and decide the race early on, but generally speaking, nothing usually happens during those first kilometers. You can use those first kilometers to warm up if the pack isn't sick or anything, and this is the place I'm talking about. So some splits do happen here. Usually they try to just break the pack and see who's worthy to continue with the pack and who's not, so just be careful, don't get dropped on the first climb, because otherwise it's gonna be a lonely ride to the top. But if the pack just gets stretched, then it usually comes all together at this point because of the ups and downs, and here we can see that the lap starts actually. I'm riding a D or C group pace just for you to see what kind of watts per kilogram you can expect during the race. There are some percentages at which you should be more careful. As you can see, it's like a ladder type of a climb. As you can see, it goes from 6% to 7%, then to -1, 2, so it's really zigzaggy all the way up. And note that some of the riders don't ease when it's close to 1 or 2% or nil. They just keep on pushing, so that's where the splits occur, and that's why you should always pay attention and be on the front and be on the knife's edge. So yeah, the DC group did it around in 4.5 minutes, and during the downhill also just well, I don't know how to tell you, but just know how to downhill. Look at the speed. When it's above 56 kilometers per hour, you can rest, you can ease up, don't pedal, use the aerodynamics, but as it's a ladder type, then you should just be careful not to get dropped during the downhill. Now this is the usual B group pace, so it's a bit harder, as you can see, and I just wanted to show you that I'm using 50% trainer difficulty just for my knees. I don't want to hurt my knees, and I know it's a thing of taste, the trainer difficulty, but 50% is more than enough, just so for you to feel it. And as you can see, some of the riders in B group try to split the group in here because it's the hardest point, but they usually don't follow up all the way, so the power drops, but the last final stretch is a bit harder. And yeah, B group, of course, will do these laps in a shorter period of time. Next I will show you how the A group rides up, and if you don't believe me, you can just watch. Thomas Thrall has some recordings of his races, and yeah, the A group pace is like really tough, and I'm not even exaggerating, that's how usually A group climbs up, and the pace is usually around something like 3 minutes up the hill, and usually actually even faster. I'm riding here solo, so that's no wonder that the pace will be a little bit lower than during the race. But yeah, A group stretches thin really in here, because you can see the guys just keep on pushing. They don't have power drops. The front usually goes about 6-7 watts per kilogram. So yeah, I'm celebrating a bit here because I just got KOM. Yeah, and next I'm gonna show you, oh, again, celebration time. And next I'm gonna show you where the sprint starts, or where you should start sprinting during this downhill, because it's not those usual 250 meters. No, the sprint starts somewhere around here. And well, I didn't have the legs for the sprint, or wasn't mentally prepared for it, but just for you to show the pace. So it was 400 meters before the line, and as you can see, it took me like 19 seconds. So to summarize, it's a tough route and it's an interesting one. It really matters how do you play it. It's easier to ride this route when you control the pace and you're at the front. And I'm just here changing socks. I noticed that my son put some gray socks. But yeah, as I was saying, just control the pace. Everybody's hurting, you're hurting, your opponents are hurting. Just keep it up, ride on.